Why would you release a patch and not release the patch notes to the patch? Whatever. Yo guys, what is up? Got some domination today on Cartel, and as you can tell, it's recorded in theater mode because it's replay only recorded the second half of this game. Amazing. But I'll be using the Akimbo Diamante Rafficas, whatever you want to call them, 3-round burst pistols with flat jacket, tac mask, assassin, scavenger, ghost ninja, and I'll be using the jammer along with it. And yes, I know the patch that just launched last night, which today is the 15th, so the day before the season, has nerfed flat jacket, and as of this recording, I cannot read the fucking patch notes for the patch that came out over 12 hours ago. Or close to 12 hours now. It's fucking retarded, but whatever. And these Akimbo Rafficas are so good. Even on a big map like this, like the score of this game, it's not the greatest, it's whatever. But the gameplay in this first half I thought was good enough to be uploaded, so here we are. Yeah, the Akimbo Raffica is really fucking good. And using a Raffica by itself isn't the greatest thing ever. I tried to get a single Raffica gameplay. It just wasn't happening. But using the Akimbo Rafficas the way they are, like Akimbo, is probably the best way to go about it because they're so damn strong. They're so strong. It's retarded. Now for setup attachment wise, I'm using the 30 round fast mag, which is like the last magazine you unlock. Obviously I'm using dual wield. I'm using field tape for flinch resistance because I don't want to get my aim kicked up and miss my target. For the steady aim laser, I'm using the 5 MW, one of the 35% hip accuracy, because the last one just isn't. It just doesn't cut it. It's not enough hip accuracy. And using the 35% would lowered the amount of bouncing or whatever I had with it. So yeah. And if there's any other attachment with it, I don't remember what it is. I think there's like a muzzle thing on it to give it more range, or I think it's a 7.2 task force spread. I think that's the last attachment I didn't mention. But anyway, just going on a nice little kill streak here. My Rafficas finished at 19-1. Kind of wasn't expecting that. I went, damn. Well, I hope this game stays pretty good to upload to YouTube, because if not, oh well. But you know how Black Ops is, or Cold War is anyway. Just because you do good out of the gate doesn't mean you're going to keep that same momentum. And honestly, I feel like this game likes to kill your momentum when you aren't doing well. But anyway, today I want to talk about playstyle, though. I don't really want to talk too much about the gameplay because, like, the gameplay speaks for itself. I will say this, like, I enjoy using weird shit like this on bigger maps because I feel like it's easier to use. And you're like, well, that makes no sense at all because there's bigger sightlines on these maps. And while that is true, you know, having bigger sightlines poses a problem to this, but if you're using the flanks to your advantage, like not going down the riverbed and just going through the hangar is probably your best bet to using something like the Rafficas or a shotgun on this map, because you can just close the gaps a lot easier, especially if you are on seaside where there's a lot more cover to get to this little hangar right here. But I want to talk about playstyle and how I've changed my playstyle up. I kind of mentioned this in the previous commentary, but I've noticed that ever since I've changed the way I play up, I've been doing a lot better stat-wise. And basically, what I've done is I went back to prioritizing a gun streak over, say, going for an objective. Because what I noticed in my previous gameplay was if I was rushing straight to B, not using flanks, or not trying to push people off the flag, I was just dying a lot more than I was. And to me, that's if you want to do well, you know, people will give you shit like, hey, you're not playing the objective. But if you are keeping people off the objective and you're being like a support slayer type of deal, and what I mean by like support slayer, it's basically like your goal is to play the objective and to kill people. So, you know, if you're a support player, your goal is to go after the objective, shoot down kill streaks. But if you're like a support slayer, your goal is to hop on the objective when it calls for it, kill people off the objective, all that good stuff. And ever since I went back to playing how I did in Black Ops 1, which again was prioritizing my gun streak over the objective at first, I've been doing a lot better. Like, my goal now is 5 kills. And then, okay, I'm good to cap that objective. Or is there anyone around? No, okay, I'll hop on the objective. Stuff like that. I mean, I still play the objective quite a bit, and my opening routes here obviously doesn't show me going straight to B, because to me that's just suicide, especially with Akimbo Rafficas. My plan is to scout out what they're doing at first. And that's why I don't rush straight to B, or I don't cap the close point, because capping the close point is just less time for me to push up and see how the enemies position themselves. And can I cap B, or is my team getting rammed? You know, it's stuff like that that you need to be constantly asking yourself, well, is this a smart thing to do or not? And then I act accordingly to it. And I've noticed ever since I've started doing stuff like that, and not rushing straight to B at every chance on every spawn I get, that I've been doing a lot better. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you're playing pretty stingy, or you're just playing against bad people, and where's your skill-based matchmaking shit? Trust me, it's every game is in a game like this that I get complete fucking buffoons for enemies who don't know how to stop the Rafficas. I mean, like I said, this doesn't happen every day. This doesn't happen every game. But changing the playstyle up has given me more consistent scores. In the sense of, I'm not, you know, spearheading my way to the objective to just die. And a lot of people think that's the way you should play the objective. It's just, okay, you died, rush me, get back on it, and sacrifice yourself. And, you know, that's a good way to lose map control, and a lot of people don't understand that. And having map control, you know, well, how do you have map control in a game like COD where you die so quick? You know, I understand, like, sorry for yawning, you kind of haven't been able to sleep the last few days, but, you know, having map control in a game like Call of Duty is basically like, hey, you have B, okay, well, you should be pushed up onto B, and sitting around B and picking people off as they go to B. And a lot of people don't understand that. And a lot of people want to sit back. And sitting back is like the worst thing you can do. In all honesty, like, you want to be more proactive than you want to be reactive. Because when you are reactive and camping, it allows people who like to rush to be able to hop on a flag and camp it. Or if you aren't pushed up to the objective and a little bit past it, you're going to lose whatever map control you have. And you can see even here on the mini-map that my team's positioning is pretty shit. At least on the left side of the map. And that's why there's a constant struggle to cap B. So, like, my whole objective now when playing is to get map control, or at least push the enemies far enough off of B, long enough for my team to cap it, and I'll try to help cap when possible. Because I'm going to be honest with you, playing the objective honestly rewards you hardly anything in this game. I mean, capping a flag and dom, yeah, you get 200 points if it's enemy controlled, which, you know, to me is worth hopping on. But if it's just neutral point, 50 points isn't, you know, make or break by any means. Unless you really need like 25 points for your score streak, and even then you'd probably kill someone faster than, say, you would cap the objective. But that's just me. And I know people are like, well, you don't play the objective, or that's why you lose games, you don't play the objective, blah, 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 blah. And I think every game I've uploaded, I've won, just play this way, because if people are constantly dying and constantly respawning, that's more time they're spending trying to get back to wherever the point is they're going. So like, if I'm constantly killing people and I'm getting my kill streaks, that means that's less time that the enemy has to rush me. That's more time they have to spend spamming their respawn button, or on a map like Cartel where C spawns you, well, even on A, it spawns you pretty far back in the map sometimes. So that could be a reason why, doing something like this is more beneficial than just let me rush B, cap it, and keep rushing B. You should obviously take people out. You should obviously be trying to cap objectives. But if you got 2 objectives here, and you're not in any grave danger if you lose B, lose it and recap it. I mean, try to prioritize map control over the objective first, because getting the objective with no map control is probably the hardest thing to do. But if you're able to use flakes and to push them back and then cap the objective, it's going to make your life 10 times easier. Now, I'm not saying that you should not cap B at all. I'm not saying that at all, because there's games where I've completely pushed the enemy team back, and I go to cap B, I get no help, I die, and then map controls reset. There's nothing I can do. Like right here, I'm straight up rushing B because the game's really close. A lot closer than it should be, because the way my team's set up just isn't beneficial to keep map control, because Cartel's such a big map. And honestly, if you are playing Cartel, just having 1 person on Hager's side is probably enough, maybe 2. You want to really control Riverbed, that's where the real flanks are, that's where it's harder to see people, so. But yeah, I'm not saying completely ignore B or the objectives at all. What I'm saying is get map control first, push them off B, and honestly, you should probably see more consistency in your gameplay. But final score is 51-20, 17 objectives, and just a hair off 13,000 score. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and peace out.